The Iraqi Navy is one of the components of the military of Iraq currently being reconstructed by UK-US coalition forces in Iraq. Its primary responsibilities are the protection of Iraq's coastline and offshore assets. Initially called the Iraqi Coastal Defense Force, its official name was changed on 12 January 2005. As of February 2011, the Navy had approximately 5,000 sailors and Marines, which form an operational headquarters, 5 afloat squadrons, and 2 Marine battalions. Headed by Rear Admiral Mohammed Jawad, the Navy had plans to build 6 Al-Abor-class patrol boats in Baghdad, with the first of the boats to enter service in September 2005. This project, however, was ultimately cancelled. Additionally, 2 Assad-class corvettes built for Iraq in the 1980s by Italy were originally planned to be delivered sometime around 2006-2007. The ships, however, were found to be in a worse state than originally believed, forcing the Iraqi Navy to reconsider the deal and instead buy 4 newer, smaller modified Dish-RT-class vessels. The 5 British corvettes and 1 Soviet patrol boat operated by the Saddam Hussein-era Iraqi Navy were destroyed in the 1991 Gulf War and the 2003 invasion of Iraq, respectively. At the moment, the Iraqi Navy is designed for coastal water protection, stopping the smuggling of people, oil and weapons, and to protect the country's oil platforms. As a result, it mainly needs patrol boats. These could be backed up by fast attack craft. The patrol boats need to have the ability to launch rigid inflatable boats for boarding ships and also possibly be able to accommodate a helicopter, which would increase their patrol capability. The Iraqi Navy is building a 2nd Marine Battalion. History: Kingdom of Iraq. The Iraqi Navy was formed in 1937 as a small 4-ship force headquartered in Basra. Between 1937 and 1958, it was primarily a riverine force. Republic of Iraq pre-2003. Following the 14th of July Revolution of 1958, the Iraqi Navy began to expand. Operationally based in the port of QASR, the Arabic Gulf Academy for Sea Studies was established in Basra, which offered a bachelor's degree in War and Engineering Naval Studies. By 1988, the Navy grew to a force of 5,000, but played a relatively small role during the 1980–1988 Iran–Iraq War. Between 1977 and 1987, the Iraqi Navy received 8 OSA-class missile boats, armed with Styx anti-ship missiles, from the Soviet Union. It also purchased 4 Lupo-class frigates and 6 Assad-class corvettes from Italy, although these were never delivered because of international sanctions following the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait in 1990. The Iraqi Navy was almost completely destroyed during the Gulf War of 1991. The force had 19 ships sunk and 6 vessels damaged. In total, more than 100 Iraqi ships were destroyed. The Navy was not rebuilt and played little part in the Iraq War. One exception was 2 mine warfare vessels captured by U.S. Navy and Coast Guard units during the assault on Al-4, the tug Jumeirah, towing a well-camouflaged mine-laying barge, and the tug Al-Raya, which had been outfitted as a mine layer itself. Of the units that remained by late 2002, most were in a poor state of repair and the crews were in a poor state of readiness. Whatever units that remained after 1991 were used primarily for safeguarding Saddam's palaces on the Tigris River. Republic of Iraq post-2003. In January 2004, the Iraqi Coastal Defense Force officially began training its first 214 volunteers. On 1 October 2004, the ICFD began coastal patrol operations. On the 11th of November 2008, Rear Admiral Mohammed Jawad signed the historic non-legally binding Co-Abdallah Protocols or CAR Protocols at the Kuwait Naval Base. The protocols were the concept of the British Royal Navy in 2008 when in command of Combined Task Force 158 operating in the Northern Gulf region and specifically within Iraqi territorial waters for the protection of the Iraqi oil terminals Al Basra Oil Terminal and in support of Iraqi maritime boundaries. They are a non-legally binding military agreement aiding deconfliction between the maritime forces of Kuwait and Iraq in the Co-Abdallah waterway, and are reflected in a former United Kingdom Hydrographic Office chart and which was retitled the Car Interoperability Admiralty Chart. The protocols were developed, written and mediated by a British naval lawyer, Major David Hammond, Royal Marines, working alongside the heads and staffs of both the Kuwaiti Navy and Iraqi Navy, and which saw the historic first meeting on board a British warship, HMS Chatham, on 8 May 2008. The protocols were historically ratified and signed on the 11th of November 2008 at Kuwait Naval Base in the presence of Vice Admiral Gortney USN, Commander of the United States Naval Forces Central Command based in Bahrain, and remain an enduring success story in the region, highlighting cooperation and coordination between the two countries. On 30 April 2010, Iraqi naval forces took over responsibility for the protection of the Al Amir and Basra oil terminals, as well as the ports of Qasr and Al Zubair. Organization commands Iraqi Naval Headquarters, Baghdad, may move to Qasr. Operational Headquarters, Qasr Tactical Operations Center, Al Amir Platform, Tactical Operations Center, Al Basra Platform, Naval Training Center, Qasr NCO Academy, Swift Boat Crew Training Course, Maritime Academy, Basra Diving Squadron, Qasr RHIB's Patrol Squadron, Qasr PS-701, PS-702, PS-703, PS-704, PB-301, PB-302, PB-303, and 5XU, IPBs. Patrol Squadron, Planned Patrol Squadron, Planned Patrol Squadron, Planned Small Boat Squadron, Qasr Squadron equipped with American Defender-class boats. Support and Auxiliary Squadron, Qasr Marines 1st Marine Brigade Special Troops Battalion. Basra Log City in December 2010 was redesignated 1st and moving to Basra Log City. Reached full strength in 2011. 1st Marine Battalion, Qasr. 2nd Marine Battalion, Qasr, Arizona Zubair. 3rd Marine Battalion, Basra Log City. 1st Marine BDE Base Support Unit, Basra Log City. 2nd Marine Brigade Special Troops Battalion. Planned bases Qasr. Personnel, 1,500 sailors and officers, in addition to 800 in the Iraqi Naval Battalion who guard the platforms and the port of Qasr. Equipment, Patrol and Coastal Combatants 4x53.4-METER Setia Mk4 class offshore patrol vessels, 2x60-meter Al Basra class offshore support vessels and 12 of 15 by 35-meter Swift ships Model 35 PB120AT1455, 5 by 27-meter Predator-class patrol boats, 24 fast aluminum boats, 10 rigid-hulled inflatable boats. Setia Mk4 class. On 15 February 2006, the Iraqi Navy signed a $101 million contract with the Italian government to provide 4 Setia Mk4 class offshore patrol vessels. This is a modified Dish-RT-class offshore patrol boat, as originally used by the Guardia Costiera. The vessels are to be built by Fincantieri at River Triglaso, with modifications including increased crew capacity of 38. The contract also comprises the provision of logistical support and crew training, with each crew completing a 7-week training course. In cooperation with the Marina Militaire, each commissioning crew is provided with a week's bridge simulator course at the Academy in Livorno. In May 2009, the first vessel, patrol ship 701 named Fata, was handed over at the Muggiano, La Spezia shipyard. The crew had been training since January 2009, and would now be heading for QASR, a 20-day, 5,000 nautical miles journey via the Mediterranean, Suez Canal and Red Sea. There, additional training will be completed, before the vessel takes over duties from the British Royal Marine Patrols, who will then revert to a training role of new crew. The vessels will be used to patrol the exclusive economic zone, control maritime traffic, for search and rescue and firefighting. Swift ships. On September 2009, the Iraqi Navy awarded a $181 million contract to Swift Ships shipbuilders of Morgan City, Louisiana for the construction of 9 Model 35 PB-120AT-1455 coastal patrol vessels. The vessels are purchased under foreign military sales. The Iraqi Navy is expected by the end of the year to award a $109 million contract to build 2 60-meter offshore support vessels. The FMS program will contribute $82 million. The ships will provide logistical support for securing the oil platforms to the interceptor boats and more than 60 fast attack boats. Predator-class. The 5 27-meter Predator-class patrol boats were built by Wuhan Nanhua High-Speed Ship Engineering Co., Limited, and delivered in 2002. They were to be the new ICDF's first ships and were to be purchased under the Oil for Food program. Due to their military compatibilities, they were not allowed to enter Iraq until 2003. The vessel has one continuous freeboard main deck with camber and slight foreshear, one deckhouse and wheelhouse. The hull below main deck is divided by transversal bulkheads into 4 spaces. The speed of the vessel under sea trial conditions is 32 knots. Crew 14. Support vessels. 1 offshore supply vessel Al-Shams, September 2006. An Iraqi marine company will deliver a new ship which was bought from Iraqi Aquatic Transportation Company to be employed as guiding a float station across the sea in order. In March 2010, the Iraqi Navy awarded a $70 million contract through FMS to Riverhawk Fast Sea Frames, LLC, Tampa, Florida for 2 60-meter offshore support vessels. The 2 vessels were delivered on 20 December 2012. 2 by 60-meter offshore support vessels. 401 Al-Basra, 402 Al-Fahar. Future procurement. The Iraqi Navy will reportedly be purchasing Scan-Eagle UAVs in the near future for maritime reconnaissance support. Exact numbers and delivery dates are still unknown as of January 2012.